Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So we're going to talk about a couple of things this morning. Certainly, the president had his address to the nation last night. So that was done last night. And actually, I'm going to put this one up. He did his address to the nation last night. Quiet as kept. That wasn't anything any of us needed to hear last night. Essentially, Trump just wanted to meet with the American people to say, don't believe your lying fucking eyes. Everything's cheaper. Shut up, accept what's happening to you. Be quiet. That's really what that was last night. Good morning to you all this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Look, Thursday is here. Now, listen, I don't know how many people are in here this morning that was in here with me last night when we did Pork Over Politics, where we cooked that crispy, sticky pork belly while we talked politics. There were no leftovers. I told y'all, there were no leftovers. My daughter packed up the last 4 pieces last night with some rice for lunch today. There were no leftovers. Anytime you make that meal, you're going to have to fight for them damn leftovers. Okay? Cook that. I'm telling you, you fix that for people. Trust me. But yeah, last night, Trump essentially said to millions of working class Americans, stop the cap. Y'all stop fucking lying. Everything's really, really cheap. The prices of everything has dropped and your life is better with me. That's what he said last night. He was lying, but that's what he said. And that's where we are. Your government tells you one thing while they do something else. Now, let me stop for a second and say good morning to you all. Happy Thursday. Look, let me go through this list and see who I got here. Let's see. Good morning, Alex, Stephanie, Carl, Linda, Derek, Indigenous, Karen, M. Lynch. Let me see who else I have here. Anthony, Object, Sincere and Rare, Debbie, and Zotab. Thank you all so much this morning. But yeah, Trump essentially stood up there last night and lied. He stood up there last night and told you, you're a liar. Groceries don't cost you that much. That's what Trump said yesterday. It don't cost that much to live. I dropped the prices of everything. This is why I kept saying electing rich people into positions of power don't help working class people. They're not you. They don't even think about you. And that's it. Your president don't even think about you. He's too busy taking money from rich people to care about your plight. Folks are sitting up here making decisions. Do I get my refill on my prescription or do I pay my electricity bill? You know what I'm saying? That's what people are doing. Then he lied. And Indigenous, you brought up the great point about prescriptions. Lied and said that he lowered the price of prescriptions 600%. That's a lie. That's not even mathematically possible. In order to do that, essentially, Trump is saying they pay you to get your prescription. Question. Last time you went to get your refill, did they give you money or did you have to give them money? He's lying. He is lying. And it's about time folks start holding him accountable. No problem, Hallie. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself last night. We had no leftovers, Hallie. These people are so disrespectful. I put the 2 pieces y'all saw me put on my plate yesterday. I never got no more. And I cooked it. But I'm glad they enjoyed it. Now, I want to tell y'all something else. Trump's trying to pay off the military, too. Because, see, I told y'all that Army commander has said that if Trump declares some American citizens, if he makes declarations that American citizens are terrorists, the Army commander said he's all for the Army handling it. So now Trump is set to approve a warrior dividend. They're going to give 1.4 million military servicemen $1,776. See, it's all marketing, right? Guess what? That ain't no fucking money. That ain't no money. $1,700 ain't no money. That's trash. It's crumbs. Rich people are getting billions and trillions of dollars of money. And they got $1,700. That's what's happening. $1,700 is what he's going to give them. That's pennies. Pennies. But look, you say you got a $40,000 bonus to join the Navy 25 years ago. That makes sense. Now you get a $50,000 bonus for being an ICE agent. The military members, they get crumbs. They get $1,700. See, America, y'all need to understand people can be in the military and still be on food stamps. That shit should be embarrassing to America, but for whatever reason, it ain't. It's not embarrassing that their soldiers go to food banks. And America want to sit around and talk about how they're such the best nation in the land. Not if your military people are at food banks and on food stamps. Sounds like to me you're not paying wages that put them in a position so they can just eat. Look, Object is telling y'all. He's saying most of the military, E4 and below, are on WIC and SNAP. You're right. Last night, that address, Trump wasn't talking to the American public. He was talking ultimately to rich people. You say $1.99 gasoline, bad boy? Do you know what state gas is $1.99? I'm just waiting. I'll wait. No. You know any state that has $2 gas? Exactly, you don't. So go back to your mama's basement and go back to your mother cousin. Bye-bye, beloved. We don't talk to people who like being poor in this live, okay? All right. Of course they're gonna have to claim that $1,700 on their taxes trail because the government's gonna look at it like income. What? They're going to look at it like income. That ain't no free money. All he doing is upping their tax liability. And listen, you and I know, right? You and I know that we're paying the bulk in the taxes. Rich people aren't paying taxes. That's why they wanted Trump back in office again. You know? That's why they wanted Trump back in office again, so they wouldn't have to pay taxes. We're paying their fair share. Right? We're paying their fair share. And I told y'all, TikTok loves bots on this platform. They don't mind if you get misinformation. They used to care about misinformation. Not no more. Not no more. Not no more. Because you was getting too much information on this fucking platform that was causing y'all to ask questions. They didn't like that. That's when your government attacked TikTok. And now you have the American version of TikTok. Yep. Because rich people wanted to make sure that your ass don't get to talking out the side of your neck too much and learning too much on here. Because then you might expect your elected officials to actually work for you. Oh, what a concept. Now, I wanted to research what that troll said who was in here earlier, right? As of mid-December 2025, no U.S. state has a statewide average gas price of $1.99 a gallon. Trump was lying. Okay? Trump was lying. Are there some states from time to time where they might have $1.99 gas? Oklahoma. Y'all want to move to Oklahoma? I don't. Texas? Fuck no. I don't. Those are not places y'all would want to live. Any place that did even have it, you wouldn't want to live there. If Trump is talking, he's always lying. He has to lie to you to convince you that the things that you're feeling and going through aren't real. It's called manipulation. And I'm just looking at Americans going, how long y'all gonna let rich people keep lying to you before you get fed up and shit? You see, y'all see the idiots that were behind them at the damn rallies. They're fucking idiots. Because I can guarantee you these same fucking idiots right now are pinching pennies. Because they ain't got enough money. Let me tell you something classy. They believe Donald Trump, but they don't believe him. They know it's not true. They know every time they go in a fucking grocery store, Trump's a liar. They already know. They are towing the line because they still trying to own the libs. Imagine living your entire life and the highlight of your life is to trying to own the libs. What? I don't give a fuck about owning conservatives. That's not a priority for me. You understand? That's not a priority for me. My priority is to pay bills, take care of my family, have a safe community. That's my priority, a safe country. My priority is not, well, let me see what other Americans I could piss off and make them hate me. You know who want to live like that? People who ain't got no life. That's why I say MAGA ain't got no life. You seen a woman in Dollar Tree with a MAGA hat complaining about the prices. You know what I would have asked her? Bitch, why are you here? You got enough money, you ain't got to be in Dollar Tree. You ain't got to be in Dollar Tree. See, a long time ago, young people, in case you ain't know, when Dollar Tree first came about, they were called the dollar store. Because everything in the store was just $1. Y'all weren't around when that happened. But we didn't always have dollar stores. But it was called the dollar store. Because everything in there was supposed to be $1. Now the starting price is $1.25. And they go all the way up to $8. Now, oh, my Dollar Tree go up to $8. Y'all say 5 to 7. Y'all lucky. Mine's go up to 8. Y'all are going to learn. Y'all going to learn. Back in the day, that's what we had. You ain't going to never have that no more. Not ever again. And what did I tell you? When prices go up, they never go back down. Because once people with money realize that you're willing to pay the higher price, why would I give you a discount? They're not. That's the new normal. When I showed y'all that picture of the $200 wheelbarrows at Lowe's, I took that picture at my local Lowe's. That's the new normal. That price will probably go back down to maybe $150, but it's never going to go back to $40, $20 for a fucking wheelbarrow. Never. Because rich people know that you will pay the increased cost. If you're desperate enough, they know you'll pay. So it's never going to go back down. Okay? Never. Yep. Exactly, object. People forget government put barriers in place for businesses. You know why? Because the free market will fuck you over. But Republicans convinced y'all that let the free market decide. The free market is greedy as hell. The free market is a greedy bitch. Real talk. The free market's greedy. So they just gonna take and take and take and take until the government steps in and say, you're gonna cut that shit out. You're bankrupting our citizens. You're gonna cut that shit out. Now your government works for rich people. So they're not gonna step in to stop rich people from price gouging you. You know what they will stop? They'll stop your ability to get it someplace cheaper. Because the enemy of high profits is competition. I'm going to say it again. The enemy of high profits is competition. Is competition. And you're so right, object. We had a Great Depression before in America. But folks forget. Good morning, Divizzy. Folks forget. Rich people will drown you and then throw you a life raft if you pay for it. You haven't even noticed when you go into a store to buy something, you don't have any real competition anymore. You got the same 2 or 3 products by the same 1 or 2 companies. It doesn't matter what store you go to because it's the same companies in every single fucking store. Every single one. Every single one from every single store. You always going to lose because it's not set up for you to win. Yep, it's a monopoly. Yeah, you're right. Marshalls and TJ Maxx are the same, but most people don't realize that. You're absolutely correct. Same store. Just different name. Yep, Amazon does it too. Yep, they're recommended products. Y'all got to understand, rich people own everything. Why is he standing like that? His diaper's full, kiss the sky. You ain't never seen little children stand like that when they diapers full. They stand like that. They be like, I got to get this diaper up off of me. My skin is itching. That's what the president said. His skin was itching. I wonder if they have an adult changing table in the White House. Where he lays back and kicks his legs up, all spread eagle. And the whole time he laying up there spread eagle, he like, I'm the president. Everyone must listen to me. I just wonder, And I'm one of those people, I have to see something in my mind to then talk about it. I don't want to see that. So I'm going to back away from that discussion because I don't want to see the president with his kneecaps be ears. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to pull that back. You saying they charging the same store charging a return fee. Yep. But that return fee, back in my day, they used to call it a restocking fee. See, my argument is weak, forged. Okay, that's fair, but my block finger is strong. You've been blocked. Look how strong my block finger was. Run and tell your friends. Don't go over there to that black woman's live. She'll block you and kick you out. Sure will. And won't feel no sorrow, no apologies about it. None of that shit. None of it. You say, why he got that Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal lean? Because his diaper's full. The little baby, his bladder gave up on him at this rally. The bladder gave up on him, so he's standing forward. He leaned, don't, 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 ah, don't, 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 don't. That's what he's doing. He has to wait until he gets changed. I love that. Annie, is Trump okay? Is Trump okay? Is Trump? No, he ain't. Annie, is Trump okay? Is Trump okay? Is Annie, he ain't. That's basically the gist of it. Trump's not okay. Like, I didn't watch the whole address last night, but the little bit I did watch, I was like, why is this old guy yelling at me? Did y'all get the same feeling? I was like, why is this old guy yelling at me? Can he not hear himself speak? No. It was like talking to your grandpa. When you're talking to him and he's like, huh? Huh? What was that you said? Huh? What? Huh? That was him last night. I was like, why the fuck is he yelling? Because he's almost 80. That's why. He's almost 80. That's why he's yelling. He was hoping, I don't know what he was hoping for, but I was just like, why the fuck is this guy yelling? What is happening here? Yep. He had more lies, more misinformation, and a whole bunch of empty promises. I'm going to tell you something. 11 months from when Trump got into office, you're worse off than you were. And 4 years after he's done, you're going to be even worse off than you were when he started. Conservative policies ruin communities, they ruin families, and they ruin lives. That's why I keep telling y'all, stop voting conservative. You need to make sure that no more Republicans go to Washington. Did you see what happened yesterday? Remember, I told y'all Mike Johnson was blocking a vote on extending the ACA subsidies. Yep, Mike Johnson was blocking it because Mike Johnson said, fuck y'all. You don't need no fucking insurance. Remember when Republicans told you they had a plan? Well, their plan was you don't get insurance. That was the plan. That was the plan. But a couple of Republicans joined Democrats yesterday to force a vote on the ACA subsidies. 4 of them bucked. Only 4 of them were brave enough. Because remember, I also told y'all yesterday, Mike Johnson said, don't buck leadership. Remember, I told y'all that. I said, Mike Johnson said, don't buck leadership. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to move that. My bad. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, Mike Johnson said, don't buck leadership. Do what we say. That's what Mike Johnson told all of the Republican caucus in the House. 4 of them bucked yesterday. You know why they bucked? They got to go back home and explain to the people in their fucking district why they helped to take their insurance. I'll check out your message later, Josh. But 4 people have bucked authority to say, hey, that's it. My citizens, my constituents, they need health care. That's what they've said. They need health care. And you're right. Red states need this shit. Red states need this. But the problem is this. The residents of those states keep voting for Republican leadership. That blocks their ability to do all this stuff. Don't y'all stay on these people. We've got to stay on these people, because if you don't stay on them, you ain't gonna have no health care. You ain't gonna have no health care. I can guarantee you cash money on that. If you don't stay on these people, you will not have health care. The 4 Republicans that bucked for the vote, that don't mean the vote's gonna pass. But that buck to make a vote happen were Ryan McKenzie of Pennsylvania, Brian Fitzpatrick of Pennsylvania, Rob Buchanan of Pennsylvania, and Mike Lawler of New York. So 3 Pennsylvania Republicans and 1, 3 Pennsylvania Republicans and 1 New York Republican. They're only concerned about being primary. That's all. That's all. They're concerned about losing their fucking seats. They're not doing this shit out of the kindness and the goodness of their heart. Because these same 4 people could have did this shit. They only did it because they up against the wall. And even if the vote fails, they want to be able to run back to their constituents. Well, we tried. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You say the House Pact, but that don't help nobody. Not giving the subsidies don't help people. They can't afford the fucking insurance. And Republicans are trying to put a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. You can't. You're going to have to deal with the issue of health care. They're going to have to deal with the issue of health care. But the issue is this. Y'all see this meme here? That is their plan. That is their plan. Just don't get sick. That's the plan. Don't get sick. Now, I know y'all heard some of them say, well, our plan is to give the money to the American people and they can shop and find insurance. That still won't fix the insurance problem. And it's going to make a bigger problem for you. They're going to make you claim that money as income. They're not giving you shit for free. They're going to make you claim that money as income, which is going to increase your fucking tax burden. The insurance prices are not going to go down. Why? They're actually going to go up. Because all of that infusion of the government giving everybody money to buy insurance is going to cause the insurance companies, they want more money, so they're going to raise their prices. Because government will do nothing about the cost of it. They won't pass any legislation to deal with the cost of it. They're not trying to fix health care. They just shuffling shit around and trying to lie to you and tell you they fixed it. No, they didn't. They're liars. They're fucking liars because they're in bed with insurance companies. Okay? You say Trump don't want to pay income taxes. Trump doesn't pay income taxes. Trump don't pay taxes. That's why he never showed you his tax returns. That's why you never saw them. Because Trump never pays taxes. He lies on his tax returns. He didn't want you to see him because he didn't want you to know that he lies and cheats on his taxes that he don't pay. Most rich people don't pay taxes. Listen, when I was growing up, right, I'm 50 years old. When I was growing up, rich people used to put their money in Swedish bank accounts. That was the big thing. They would put their money in Swedish bank accounts because they were trying to lessen their fucking tax burden, right? That's what it was back in the day. Now, rich people don't have to do that. They don't need offshore accounts anymore. They don't need offshore accounts no more because America gives rich people more than enough of a tax shelter here. They don't really pay no taxes. They're just, and they don't really pay taxes. And then they use your government to get your tax money to help fund their shit. And then they pay your elected officials to give them forgiveness so they don't even have to pay the money back. Y'all forgot about those PPP loans? They didn't even have to pay that money back. They didn't even have to pay it back. But all the money, all the stimulus money that the government sent you, guess what? You had to claim it on your taxes. Boop. Boop. What did I tell y'all? Y'all had to claim all of that money on your taxes, which increased your tax burden. But all the rich people who got PPP money from the government, they didn't have to pay nothing back. Nothing. Wake the fuck up. You don't have to like me as an individual to understand that you getting got. They're robbing your ass blind. And y'all sitting up here worried about who went in the fucking bathroom. Mind your fucking business and mind the business of how your government is spending your damn money. See, they want you distracted on culture wars so you don't pay attention to all the other shit that's happening. I call it little hand magic. Pay attention over here to this distraction. Trans women, bathrooms, who marries who, how big a soda is. New York is controlling how big you can buy a soda. Because while you're looking at this, they're making sure that rich people don't pay no taxes. While you're looking at this, lobbyists are over there on the Hill giving donations to your elected officials so that they can keep more money in their pocket and take more of your money. I keep trying to tell y'all, these people don't like you. They want everything you have and they want to monetize it all. They want to take everything you have and make you buy it back. Wake up. And now rich people are working with Republicans to suppress your vote. Yup. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they can't win the midterms, Trump's going to help cheat to make sure they win. So their agenda doesn't stop. Oh my God, Lola. Lola says her albuterol is now $248. In 2024 was $18. What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all before? Didn't I tell y'all before ain't no money in a cure? Insurance is a way for you to get preventative care. For if you have health insurance, you can get preventative care. Because it's cheaper to take care of you long before it becomes a serious illness. But we make more money off of you with a serious illness. So why would I want you to get preventative care? Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Why would I want to give you preventative care when I can make money off of treating your illness? I can just treat your diabetes. I don't have to cure it. Because if I cure it, then how do I keep making money off of you? Think about it. People running around out here taking Ozempic instead of learning how to properly balance their fucking nutrition. And then you wonder why you having all these side effects from fucking Ozempic. Because it's not designed to cure you. It's maintenance. It's to keep you paying every fucking month. Keep you paying. That's crazy work. I'd rather pay a subscription to the fucking gym. I pay for gym every month. How the fuck I look paying for Ozempic? How? Yep, they talking about people's eyes now, their vaginal part, all types of, it's all because, listen, Ozempic wasn't even created for weight loss. It was created to help diabetic patients. And they found that one of the side effects was weight loss. Y'all done ran out here and got that thing instead of just doing the fucking work. Moderation is key. How about having government clean up your food? So you can have real food. Not this processed shit. Not this genetically modified shit, but real fucking food. Instead of your government wanting to solve the issue of food, they'd rather just give you Ozempic. Give you Ozempic. I was telling my husband, we got a bag of apples in here. It's some red apples that my husband had bought. Those apples that bag of apples is a couple months old. Do you know those apples ain't spoiled yet? I told my husband, I said, I ain't throwing them out because I want to see how long it take before they start to spoil. But don't eat those fucking apples. Because that's not normal. It's not normal to take an apple off a tree and that motherfucker still ain't spoiled. Something ain't right there. Because that ain't real food. You understand? Yup, same thing with bread. That's why I bake my own bread. It ain't real food. But your government doesn't care that you're not getting real food. They don't care because rich people are making money. This is why your government shouldn't be for sale. This is why governments don't work for profit. Because when government works for profit, you're going to lose. You don't have enough money to make any money in that situation. Yep, you're right. If you know more about Jordans and red bottoms, that is people's choice, but it's stupidity. Especially because most of the motherfuckers buying that shit can't afford it. Real talk. And Frank, that's not a bad consideration. But understand, your government trying to bankrupt you so much, you can't even afford to leave the country. Yep, and you're right. Yep, that's why birth rates are low. Because between the environment, nutrition, and money, why would people have children? They can't afford them. If they can barely afford a meal for themselves, why would they have children? See, your government wants people to have kids, but they keep bankrupting people. Why? The only people who can afford to have children are rich people. And they ain't having a whole lot of kids. They have some, but they not having a shitload of kids. And even if they did have kids, those kids are not going to work in a factory. That's where they want your kids to work. That's why they want you to have babies. They need somebody to work these fucking low-wage ass jobs. That's why. You can't work it forever. So they need you to replace the workforce. That's why they want you to have babies. That's why they want to take away your ability to get birth control, abortions, because they want to force you to give birth to the next wave of the workforce, the low-wage workforce at that. Because those are going to be children that make even less money than their parents. Hell, you already got less than your parents. You just didn't realize it. You already got less than your parents. You don't own nothing because they won't let you own shit. Wake up. Your government is helping this shit. Yep. Patron Pete did ask Americans to give their most valuable resource, your child. Yes. That's why conservatives always been wanting people to have babies. Because they want your babies to go in those factories, in those low-wage jobs. But people ain't having babies. Young people are smart enough to go, I'm not buying into that indoctrination shit of creating a life I can't afford to feed. Because why listen to government and have a baby only for government to vilify you and say you shouldn't have had a baby you can't afford to feed? So they not having them. They say, fuck it. I'm not going to have them. Then I ain't got to worry about it. And you're right, Object. We're the first generation in the past 100 years worse off than our parents. You got more education than your parents do, and you worse off than them. Yep, I taught my daughters not to have children either. Yep, I said don't have no kids. Not in America. If you decide you want to have children, you need to move to another country. Because they don't even protect your children. It's not even safe for your kids to go to school. Real talk. It's not even safe for your babies to go to school. Why would you have babies? The government wants to decide what books you can read or what books your child can read. Why would you have babies here? The president of the United States says you can grab women by their nether regions. Why would you have kids here. The government has more control over your body than you do. Why would you have children here? Don't make sense. Don't make sense. It doesn't make sense that in America, children have shooter drills in school. We done normalize that shit. Oh, it's just normal. The kids got to do the drills. So when something, not if something happens, when something happens, they know what to do. Companies selling bulletproof backpacks. America, y'all just let people normalize this shit. This ain't normal. This is not normal. I went to school in the United States. Listen, I went to school in the United States. I grew up in the hood where people was losing their life a lot. You know, one of the safe places in the neighborhood? School. School. Quiet as kept, still in the hood. In hoods all across America, ain't nobody showing up with no pew-pew at no school. Not in the hood. Not in the hood. Think about it. I want you to just think about it. Those school pew-pews still happen, but they never happen in the hood. They never happen in the hood. Because this is the thing about black folk. If we got a problem with you, we got our problem with you, right? We're not going to go, oh, well, because I don't like this person, I'm going to punish everybody. Nah. We going to make sure the motherfucker that we don't like knows we don't like them. You going to catch the work, motherfucker. 3 o'clock, it's on and popping. At 3 o'clock, it's on and popping. But nobody wants to, somebody needs to do a study on that. Because it's not that the hood don't have access to pew-pews. Why is it that in the hood, you never hear about pew-pew events in schools? Why? There is a reason why. And there needs to be a study done on that shit. Real talk. They are studying it. I'm glad because they need to. Because we need to know why. Because there's a why to everything. But I caught on to that a long time ago. I said, shit, one of the safest places for people in the hood to be is at school. Ain't nobody coming to no school to do no shit like that. Not in the hood. Nobody never came into my school in the hood with no weapons. Ever. Ever. I remember we had a metal detector, but our resource officer with this little old lady, she couldn't wrangle up nobody, but she never had to. She never had to. Because if you was cutting up, trust me, the other male teachers was going to snatch your ass up and they was going to deal with you. Because there was a community of people in the school that was going to deal with you. You understand? A community of people. But I grew up in the hood. Ain't never had no school pew-pew event at my school. Never. And quiet as kept. My kid, the youngest kid, when she went to high school, we had moved. Her school had an event where a child brought a pew-pew to school, but we were in a white school district. But when we was in the hood, that never happened. That never happened. Never happened. Y'all gonna learn. There's something there, of why that happens. I can't wait to read the studies on why there's school pew-pew events in white communities, but not black communities. And yeah, maybe I did just answer my own question. Because I'm going to tell you something. In a black school, you pull out a pew-pew, oh, you getting jumped. They going to jump you and they going to stump a mud hole in your whole entire ass. You're not going to make it out of that school. You ain't going to make it out of there. You know how most of the time in a lot of these other schools, they capture the person who did this, not no black school, in a black school, oh, you getting the whole beat down. They gonna stomp you the fuck out. Even the librarian gonna get a kick in. You understand? Everybody gonna kick. They gonna be asking, hey, you want in on this? You want in on this before the police get here? I'm telling you, we would be stomping that motherfucker all the way the fuck out. No fucking way. You coming into our fucking school. Even if we know the person, you not coming into our school with that shit. We're not having it. See, in black schools, let you be in a classroom, right? And it's one person cutting up. What everybody in the class gonna say? I'm gonna just stop for a second and give y'all a moment because I already know. If somebody in the class cutting up, disturbing the lesson, what are the black kids gonna say? Eventually, the teacher ain't really got to say shit. What are the black kids going to do? Yeah, black kids gonna say, man, shut up, man. They gonna start off being nice about it. They're gonna be like, man, shut up, man. We trying to learn something. They'll start off nice, but then they're gonna start getting aggressive. Shut the fuck up. Then when that don't work, somebody fighting. Somebody's gonna fight. Yeah, somebody gonna fight. And somebody gonna say to the teacher, I'm sorry, teacher, but we trying to learn and he won't shut up. I bet you he'll shut the fuck up now. Yep. Somebody will be willing to do in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, just to ensure that Miss Johnson don't have no more interruptions in history class. Real shit. Because we don't play that shit. See, it's a misconception that black people don't take education seriously. Oh, yes, the fuck we do. Yes, the fuck we do. And we see it as a sign of disrespect when we trying to learn something and you cutting up trying to be a fucking distraction. Oh, it's gonna be some furniture moving in that school. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yep, because education is freedom, Kiara. Education is freedom. So if somebody is blocking your ability to get educated, they are essentially trying to keep you bound. We're not having that. But folks need to be asking that question like, why? I can't wait to read the studies on it because there's something there. There's a reason why folks don't show up. I know why, because they won't make it out alive. You go ahead and go to a black school and try to cut the fuck up. See what happens. Go ahead and cut up and see what happens. That is like going to a black graduation. And you know when they say, everybody hold your applause and you're cheering until all the graduates have been announced. Black parents out there like, bitch, please. Ain't nobody listening to that shit. You know how hard I done worked to get my baby through this school? Fuck you. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to clap. I'm going to yell my baby name, and I dare y'all do something. We don't give a fuck. When our babies say it again, go Keisha, that's my baby. That's us. And then we'll look at the other people in the stands like, bitch, what? Because we'll clap for your child too. Like the hell? I'm looking at this going like, yo, America, like the fuck is going on, man? But I'm going, wow. That's all I could think. Wow. Think about it. You really won't find too many instances of somebody walking into a black business and pew-pewing up the spot. You know why? Because you're going to get a fucking beat down. You're not going to make it out. The police won't even have to try to get in there and stop the attacker. The victims already did. Soon as the police show up, okay, what's the state of everything? Has the assailant been apprehended? Oh, they stumped a mud hole in his ass, Sergeant. He's melted into the floor, sir. We're going to need a team to scrape him up. They stumped a mud hole in his ass. We don't need to do anything. That's what'll happen. That's why it don't happen. Not you brought an air horn to the graduation. Listen. And then when the school try to tell security, hey, you need to go over there and confiscate that air horn. You know what security say? I'm not doing that shit. You go confiscate it. Fuck I look like. These people done waited 18 years for their fucking baby to graduate from school. I'm not touching that shit. I'm not touching that. Security will look you right in the fucking face and be like, I'm not touching that shit. You're right about that. Black people planning graduation needs to be studied too. Real shit. Because we take that shit seriously. It's real. Even if you got a child that's a derelict, you know what I mean? A child that stayed in trouble and shit. Those parents are so excited knowing their child made it out of school. So excited. Lil Keyshawn, he might cut up a lot, but my baby made it. My baby made it. That's exactly what Black Mama gonna say. I've been fighting for 18 years to get my baby through this school system, and we did it. Yup, they do be asking for extra tickets. We don't play that shit. Because in Black neighborhoods, for real, contrary to what people think, it's embarrassing not to graduate from high school. People will call you out. You ain't graduate. The fuck? You ain't even get your GED. That shit is weird to us. Not that there aren't Black folks that don't graduate, but we look at you funny. We look at you funny because in Black households, at bare minimum, you need to get your high school diploma. At bare minimum. So if you tell me you ain't graduate from high school, I'm going to be like, I'm not taking no advice from you. I'm not following you to do nothing because obviously there's some issues there that you gave up on education. But we don't do, that ain't how we roll. You got at bare minimum, get your fucking high school diploma or GED. At bare minimum. After that, you can do whatever you want to do. But you got to at least do that. Or we're not taking you seriously. We're just not. Wow, you said 15 of us traveled 800 miles to see my mom's youngest grandchild graduate. Yep, that's how serious we take graduations. Real talk. Folks will travel for your graduation before they travel for your wedding. Black people. Real shit. Black people will travel for your graduation before they travel for a wedding. That's real shit. They'll be like, congratulations on your marriage, but they're not coming. Y'all might not even stay married. They don't want to spend money on that. But they will come see your child graduate. If you send them a graduation invitation, oh, they're going to come to that. Oh, they're coming to that. Yep, proms are elaborate too. Proms need to be studied too. Proms really need to be studied for Black people. I went to my niece's prom a couple years ago. They had food. We had a party. Literally. It was a party. It was literally a fucking party that we had. It was a party. We had a send-off prom party. The aunties was cooking the chicken and the fish. Matter of fact, no, we didn't have fish because they didn't want that fish smell to get in her clothes. But we had fried chicken though. Okay? We had potato salad. You know what I mean? We had the whole fucking setup. And I remember it was cold as hell when my niece had her prom. But we was still outside. We was outside with the heaters, with the mute. We had a DJ. We had decorations. Deco-fucking-rations for prom. Jesus. I love my people. I love my people. There's something about us. When I see us, I just smile, man. I just smile. There's something about us that just makes you go, man, ain't nothing like it. Have y'all seen that video that's circulating TikTok? Yeah, we did have a photo shoot. How you know? We sure did have a photo shoot. My niece all dressed up in her full ass, gown and shit We got on jeans and sweatshirts. We in the pictures like, chill. The whole community did come out to send her off. Have a happy prom. We see her date when she come, and we let the date know, don't you try to do nothing inappropriate with our princess, because we'll jump you. Like the whole community be there. Whole community. We don't play that shit. Okay? You said they stop people with air horns at the door. Oh shit, not black people. Not black people. Black people gonna walk in with the air horn. See, what's that thing Cedric used to say? Black people operate off the I wish creed. I wish a motherfucker would say something to me about having this goddamn air horn. I'm waiting on it. I'm walking in with it. I got it right in front of my chest. Like, I'm waiting for you to say something. Because, bitch, I've been practicing all fucking day to read you for filth if you say something about my goddamn air horn. The fuck? We don't play that. We showing up to celebrate our baby. Damn, y'all took back memories with that shit. Because we still do that. I still do that. They say, oh, please hold your applause. Bitch, what? No. No. Respectfully, no. Say it again. We not holding nothing but this fucking program from the graduation. That's it. That's it. That's all we holding. Because we gonna yell, we gonna scream, and we gonna get loud. Why do they not? Because it slows down the ceremony, Karina. Technically, all that cheering does slow down the ceremony. It does. It does. Because they also want to make sure that every child that they announce, their name is heard. Yep. But the problem is, black people don't graduate every day. Graduation's once a year. So we like, man, fuck all that. Especially if you know that your child worked hard to get through that school. You worked hard. Because it's also the parents graduating. They're going, we did that shit. We did that shit. That's what it is. So it's some of that too. The family is graduating. That's how we see it. The family accomplished this. Yes, we're celebrating our student, but the family did it. We made that shit happen because we supported that baby through thick and thin of everything they needed to graduate from school. That's why we treat graduation that way. That's why we do it. That's why we decorate our caps. That's why we do it. Because it's a celebration that you did it. We did it. Look, Teresa says, I got t-shirts, a banner, and a bell. She got 2 coming out. Listen, exactly, you supposed to celebrate that shit. Say it again, Kiara, and the odds are so stacked against black children. Hell, Hispanic children, children of color. Because let me tell you something. If you have a child, you ain't got to be black and go to a black school, right? But to be non-black and go to a black school, black folks still gonna cheer you on. They still gonna cheer you on. Because you did that shit. You did that shit. We're still gonna do it. We still gonna cheer you on. Be like, you did that shit. Yep, our babies dance. Yes, especially a child with disabilities. We're gonna make sure we cheer on children and families. Now, for the last 30 minutes of this show this morning, I want to talk to y'all about something. I'm going to show it to you first. I did a video this morning about it because I was just like, bitch, we about to talk about this shit this morning. This is what we're talking about for the rest of the show this morning. This bitch here, Nicki fucking Minaj. So if you're a Nicki Minaj fan, you might want to leave because I want to see a dead body because I'm about to drag this bitch. I'm about to drag her. Now, y'all know Nicki Minaj is not an American citizen. She's not an American citizen. But she's on her fucking white supremacy tour. I told y'all, anything, I told you, anything that's going to keep her relevant, she going to lean into, right? Nicki Minaj is not a U.S. citizen. She is a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. She's lived here since she was 5, but she ain't never got her citizenship. So she's sucking up to Trump to try to get that citizenship. And since her husband's an offender, Trump might actually take a liking to her and help her out. Personally, I want her ass to be snatched up and put in a detention camp. But you know what stood out to me the most on this shit? I loved Gavin's clapback. That was the clapback of the gods. That was a clapback for the gods. It was like, I didn't send for you. Why are you calling for me? That was literally a clapback for the gods that Gavin did. Because he was like, bitch, I know you didn't. Oh, that's what we doing. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to tell you the part that stood out to me the most. Nicki's anti-blackness that she been leaning into, but yet when she was selling albums, she loved American black culture. She loved black people. And you couldn't get her to lay in bed with people like Trump when she was trying to market her music to black America. But now that she done made her money, she don't need us no more. Don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget. She's showing you who she is. Don't forget. When she crawls up out that hole like a crypt keeper, smack her ass right back in that hole. I'm now going to call her from this point forward. I'm going to call her Step and Fetch It Nikki. She might as well be. That's what she doing. What if I keep telling y'all about some of these immigrants? Not all of them, but there's an influx of immigrants that love to immigrate to America and get in bed with white fucking supremacy. And Nikki's one of them. She wanted to be she in bed with it. I love that. MAGA Minaj. Might as well be. And quiet as kept, them Nikki stands act just like MAGA. I told y'all this shit months ago. I'm telling you, I'm going to change my name to the fucking Oracle. I'm going to change my name to the Oracle. Because I told y'all months ago. I told you months ago that Nicki Minaj and her fans are like MAGA. She ain't no different. She ain't no different. And because she's not a black American, she thinks that she can do the shit that she does. Because she better than us. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Wake up. And I'm going to tell you another thing I think. I think Nicki is broke. I think she broke. Yep, she's not American. I think she's broke. Broke in the sense of she's made a lot of money, but she fucked over a lot of money. And now she's burned a lot of bridges. So people don't want to work with her because she toxic. Yep, that's why she bitter. She toxic. She broke. Nobody's really buying the music when she does make music. Why? This chick is almost 50 years old. And she hasn't progressed in her art at all. Don't nobody want to see her shake her ass. You somebody's mama. And quiet as kept, we tired of looking at that horrible BBL. She built like problems and misunderstandings too. She built funny. She built funny. I'm like, she built, let me tell you something. When you know how like the Barbie dolls, you know how you take all the clothes off a Barbie doll? She built like that. That's I don't like it. But don't forget about Nicki Minaj. But Gavin Newsom, thank you for this fucking clap back. Thank you. That's what I love about Gavin Newsom. He don't have no problem getting in the dirt with these motherfuckers. They want to be deplorable. Wow. That you got to match their energy. Then I'll be deplorable too. And you're right. It's not fair to Barbie. It's not. It's not. Because quiet as kept. I love how she claims she's such a Barbie. Bitch, you almost 50. You still comparing yourself to a fucking doll? I told y'all they go low, I go to hell. They go low, I go to hell. But I'm looking, when I saw this morning, I was like, oh, so this is what we're doing now. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. This is what we're doing now. All righty then. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see how old is she. She's closer to 50 than she is 20. I can tell you that. That's one of the reasons why she mad with these young girls. She's 43 years old. She turned 43 on December 8th. That's why she mad. Because she the old bitch in the room. She the old bitch in the room. I'm just looking at something. Yeah, but she's 43. She's too old to be half naked on stage shaking her fucking ass to young girls talking about look at me. They don't want to be like you. You somebody mama. It's time for her to sunset that shit. But her art never grew. It never progressed. She was so used to being the young, cute girl on the block. Not no more. From the very beginning, my issue with her was she's a mean girl. She want to be the only woman in the sphere of everything. And she dug a grave that she fell in herself. Yeah, she old. She too old to be fighting with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. She's too old to be fighting with those girls. She's a grown ass woman. But she trying to compete with 30-something-year-old woman. She can't compete with them. I know she wants to think she can. I'm so cute and this, that, and the other, bitch. You ain't cuter than a 20-something-year-old. Fuck you talking about? Not to no damn man. It's like, girl, wake up. You're the old bitch in the room now. And she mad. She damn sure don't look better than Megan Thee Stallion. Megan got so much body, yaddy, yaddy. I be like, why is Megan's music video? Why is this video 4 hours long? Why is Megan releasing 4-hour long videos? Oh, I was watching it on VP. I ain't never did that with no Nicki video. I don't even like girls. And I be watching Megan's videos like, God damn, the fuck is in the, what is in the Texas water? My Lord. Clay is having the time of his fucking life. Nicki's mad because Nicki is what was. You know what I'm saying? She is what once was. They ain't going back to that. Man, Megan got so much cake, she should open a bakery. Okay? That last music video, my man, my baby. I was like, man, fuck Clay. Got all these cakes out here. Cake. Well, what they say from Nutty for Better? Cakes and pies, cakes and pies, cakes and pies. I was like, God damn. And it's natural. That's the crazy part. It's real. Nicki, I don't think Nicki can reinvent herself. This is the thing. How do you come back from leaning into racism? How do you do that? How do you come back from talking about people's kids? How do you do that? How do you come back from marrying an offender? How do you do that? You can't. Yep, and Megan is college educated. You can't. And Cardi's very smart too. Cardi went to college too. She didn't graduate, but she went to college. Cardi not dumb. But she know how to play dumb. If you want her to. She'll pretend, but she's far from dumb. But I'm wondering about Nikki. Nikki need better people in her circle. That's her problem. All the people that surround her are yes men. It's the same problem that Ray J got. You got to have people in your circle that you're willing to listen to that will call you the fuck out, and you're willing to hear it. But right now, she just has people that tell her what she want to hear. You're the queen. You're the best. This, that, and the other. But that's all she want to hear. She want people to feed her ego, proving that she's insecure. But I said a long time ago, Nicki Minaj was insecure. If she was smart, when those other women came into the mix, she would have collaborated with them to continue to stay relevant. But she didn't. Instead, she got jealous and leaned into the jealousy. And now she's lost her relevancy because of it. Real talk. Like when she goes on like the streamers things, like Consonant and stuff like that. I'm not saying that she can't, but she's on there acting like she's in the same age group as those people. She's not. She's 43, but she don't act like she's 43. She's still trying to act like a 20-something-year-old woman. No, beloved, you can't get away with that. Because at 43 years old, you keep trying to act like a 20-something-year-old woman. People will just assume you're stupid. You're not very smart. You're not evolved. You're not cultured. That's what they will assume. Because you're still trying to act very immature or trying to lead with your body. Oh, look at my body. As you get older, you understand, listen, that ain't going to be enough to keep the attention on people. Kim shouldn't be on Consonant either. I'm being honest. Because most of them don't even understand that environment. They're too old. Want me to tell you somebody who gets it? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart can actually stream with them young people. He actually gets it. He gets it. But a lot of the other ones that try to do it, I'm going, you shouldn't be here. You seem like a fish out of water. This ain't the place for you to be. Yeah, Kevin Hart is a big kid or a little big kid. But Kevin Hart also doesn't take himself too seriously. See, if you take yourself too seriously, you shouldn't be hanging out with Consonant because they don't take themselves seriously. They like to have fun. Drewski and all them, they like to make fun of themselves, fun of each other. If you're not the type of person that can do those types of things, you shouldn't hang out with them because you're too sensitive. Your feelings going to get hurt. You're not going to be able to connect with these types of people. But I just don't think they should still be doing it. That's just me. That's just me. But Nikki need to take a break. She need to get her ass off social media. And I told y'all this before. To me, Nicki Minaj fell off once her and Safari broke up. Once her and Safari broke up, she fell off because I believe that he was helping her write those rhymes. I stand by that shit. I stand by it. Something in Nicki's style changed a lot after her and Safari broke up. And that tells me he was much more crucial in developing her artistry than she likes to give credit for. And that's a fact. It's not like she got better after him. No. What she did was she aligned herself with people who were winning so she could win too. People like Drake. People like Lil Wayne. At one time, Drake and Lil Wayne was on a tear. You understand? They was doing nothing but hits. So Nicki was she was the only girl in there. So they were pulling her along. But overrated as fuck. I've been saying that for a minute. Bitty fat, I just kept going. Where the fuck is this art going to go eventually? Because you can't be the 60-year-old bitch on stage. You can't be on stage at 60 like that. Because motherfuckers going to look at you. You understand? Like, this shit didn't age well. You feel me? Queen Latifah has a vast catalog that allows her to come on stage and rap and do a whole host of things. Nicki never grew. Everything was about her ass and her fucking kitty cat. Who the fuck want to hear that shit when you 60? She sure did. She looked up to Lil' Kim and then dissed her after taking her style. Because I remember telling my daughter, I'm like, you think this shit is new? Lil' Kim had been did this shit in the 90s. What is you talking about? Oh no, she wear the color wigs. Watch the Crush on You video. Lil' Kim been wearing colored wigs. What is you talking about? That's not new. Lil' Kim was the only chick in a sea of all dudes. That's not new. The only difference was Lil' Kim didn't rhyme like a chick. She rhymed like a dude. That was the difference. That was the difference. Y'all know. Bet grab a seat. Grab on you as this get deep. Deeper than a with a 6 feet. Stop playing with her, man. I submit, man. And Eve too. Say it again. Eve, another one. Those are real rappers to me. That's why I used to always say, Nicki don't want to see Eve. She don't want to see Eve. Eve got bars. Eve don't rap because she ain't got to rap. It's not that she can't. Folks forget about that shit. Eve was in Rough Riders. Eve was in Rough Riders, beloved. And you couldn't be in Rough Riders if you couldn't rap. DMX wasn't going to even allow that shit. Swiss wouldn't even allow it. They would call you out. Eve can rap. Shit. And I got to give you more. It's only been a year. That used to be my jam. Man, I love me some Eve. Evie, man, don't play with her. I loved me some Eve. Foxy Brown, Remy Ma. I ain't like how Nicki kept disrespecting Remy Ma. Because I'm like, bitch, you don't even have bars better than Remy Ma. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Man, if DMX was still alive, oh, a whole lot of rappers wouldn't have been rapping. Whole lot of rappers wouldn't have been rapping. Whole lot of rappers. Yep, Trina can rap too. You right. Rhapsody. That's why I be like, Nicki who? Psh, get out of here. There's a whole bunch of other female MCs you can listen to that literally have bars. Yep. Oh, I used to love me some Bahamadia. I used to love her. I used to love me some Bahamadia. Oh, don't get me started. I used to love me some her. That's real hip hop. That's real hip hop. To me, Nicki was never real hip hop. To me, Nicki was pop music with some rapping. To me, she was pop music with rapping, not hip hop. Hip hop is different. Hip hop is raw. To me, she wasn't that. She was pop music, marketed as hip hop. She would do some hip hop shit on the stuff that she doing with Lil Wayne or Drake or some shit like that. But her shit was pop music. Starships are meant to fly. What? What? Yeah, no. That's not how I don't like my hip hop like that. I like my hip hop to be today's agenda. I got the suitcase up in the Centra. Go to room 112 and tell them Blanco sent you. I don't want to be talking about no fucking starships and rainbows and glitter and shit. The fuck is going on? I want to be a thug when I listen to hip hop. I want to feel like I can rob a bank and shit. I'm not going to do it, but I want to feel like I can. You know what I mean? Hip hop supposed to make you feel aggressive. Hip hop supposed to make you want to fight. You know what I mean? Her shit don't do that for me. Yeah, hip hop supposed to have you like this. When you listen to it like, I don't feel like that with her. I don't feel like that with her. He's a good about, oh, bitch, shut up. I'm not a Nicki fan. My kids know that. I'm not a Nicki fan. Haven't been a Nicki fan. In the very beginning, I was liking some of the stuff she did, and then I didn't like it. I do like her verse on Truffle Butter. She had a decent verse on truffle butter. But she also couldn't do all that crazy shit that she usually does. Because that wouldn't have worked on that song. Because the guys wasn't doing that. Now, I liked her verse on truffle butter, but Lil Wayne, quiet as kept, you didn't need Drake or Nicki on that song. Lil Wayne bodied both of them on that song. You didn't need either one of them on there. For real, for real. You know, stop playing with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne got his man on that shit. He didn't need them on that at all. At all. But after Nicki pulling all this shit and getting in bed with white supremacy, I feel some type of way about her. He's a good girl. Bitch, I can't stand her. Listen, thank y'all for joining me this morning. Listen, there will not be an unfiltered show after this one this morning because I got some work to do with the kid this morning. However, do not forget that tomorrow on Friday, we do a freebie Friday after my TikTok live over on Patreon where we do a freebie Friday. Anybody can come listen to that unfiltered show, that uncensored show. We talk about all types of stuff. And I don't have to say things like pew pew and unalive. We can have real conversations. Okay? So click the link in my profile to be a part of Real Conversations. And then last night, the newest episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast came out. It's called Corporate America Wants to Own Your Whole Life and They're Not Even Hiding It. And in this episode, I talk about the things happening to you are not an accident. You working hard and making more money is not an accident. Tomorrow, I'll be online a little earlier. I got to check and see what time. Yeah, because the kid got to be to work from 10 to 5 tomorrow. So I'll be online probably about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because it's Friday. And so I try to get on earlier on Fridays to help send you guys off to work. Okay? So don't forget about that. Don't forget to listen to the podcast. The link is in my bio. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, or Patreon. It's something you need to hear so you can understand you don't own nothing and the rich people want it that way. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I appreciate your support. Thank you all for the 130,000 likes this morning. I thank you for the 180 shares. I do appreciate you. I want each and every one of you to have a beautiful and blessed day. But make sure you get on the phone and call your elected officials today. Email them and let them know how you feel about this healthcare thing and how they fucked it up, especially Republicans and especially the 8 Democrats that brought the government back open claiming because Republicans were going to solve the healthcare thing. Get their ass. You understand? Before I leave, I want to do a shout out to my top 5 gifters. Number 1, beautiful Miss Valerie. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, Catalyst. Thank you so much, Catalyst. Number 3, Miss Lola. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 4, beautiful Miss Stacy D. Thank you, beautiful. Number 5, beautiful Trail. Thank you, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, handsome Marky. I appreciate all of you being here this morning. Don't forget, I'll be back on this afternoon, live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Monica, I love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head, folks. Don't feed no trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody. Have a beautiful day. See you this evening.